16, 10 and a half, cut it 10 and a half, black, 16 white, and 16 gray. Now the full roll of this is 10 and a half inches, even though it says 10 on the it does say 10, it's actually 10 and a half. It's a manufacturer error. You can do your colors any way you want. So you can see here, I've done black on the outside, white, and then I'm doing gray to the inside. You can switch up the colors however you want, but either way you do it, you need 16 of each piece. And to make the petal, I did wood burn this mesh. It didn't take me very long at all because, like I said, we only need 16 pieces. So this is a 10 and a half by 10 and a half inch square piece of mesh. Curl up, right? So if I let it go, it springs up and it rocks back and forth. I like to use these little clips when I'm doing the Dean Michael petal. This petal fold is pretty much the only one I would burn, okay, to cut the edges. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, there is a couple videos on my YouTube channel on how to wood burn mesh. Anyways, okay, so we got our square. I'm going to turn it into a diamond. And like I've said a million times before, when I'm doing my petals or doing anything, I have the finished edge at the top left and bottom right, okay? Just get in a habit of doing that, and you'll never screw up because you'll just form a habit. I'm going to bring this top corner and match it up with the bottom corner here, okay? And then I like to put this little clip, and these are just little sewing clips. You can use clothespins or whatever, just to keep the tip of my petal at the top together. And then I'm just, once you have the tips together, if you have a perfect square, everything should match up. Mine doesn't match up too much bad down here, but you can see the edges match up. So you have like a triangle formation like this, okay? You're gonna spin it to, now I'm right-handed, so I always spin the tip of this petal going to the left. And then I'm going to pinch up at the top. I'm just going to pinch just like that and pull it kind of tight. And you can see this pleat forming in the middle. That just shows me where the very center of the petal is, okay? So I just take your thing, throw it to the left, pinch it, and then pinch the bottom. So the bottom where it's a big long seam here. All right, and then I'm gonna do 3 pleats up the top. So 1, 2, 3, okay? And then I'm gonna do 3 this way. 1, 2, 3. And this is what you've got. Zoom that in a bit. And then what I do is I take the corner, the 2 little corners that are sticking out, I just fold it in behind. Okay, I am going to put one of the little elastic bands on here because I pre-made a lot of my petals already. You can just put elastic band and do all your petals, or you can put them in as you're going. But once you put your little elastic band, then you're gonna open up your petal really nice, and it forms one cohesive petal. Now this mesh is really, really nice to work with for this petal. It's similar to poly burlap. It's not as soft as poly burlap, but it doesn't fray as much as poly burlap, and it's half the price, okay? So I've been using this horizontal wide stripe quite a bit lately with my flower designs because of the price difference, and it makes a really, really nice petal. Okay, so let's do one again. So now I'm going to do a white piece, 10.5 by 10.5. Turn it into a diamond shape. Factory edge or finished edge. top left, bottom right, curl up, take the top corner, bring it down to the bottom corner, or you can bring, it doesn't matter, bring the top up to the bottom, whatever you're comfortable with. I like to clip the two corners up at the top. That makes it a nice cohesive petal, and then just smooth it down. And then I flip it to the left because I'm right-handed. We're going to pinch it and kind of stretch it. And why I do this is just, it's easier to find the center of your petal when you do that. So if I just pinch it here, it makes a natural kind of vein down the center. And then I can figure out where the center is without measuring and all that stuff, okay? So center, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, right? We're gonna take these little corners that are just kind of sticking out, and I fold them to the back. And I'm going to put an elastic band on it again. Now, if you're doing your petals while making your wreath, you would just stick the nub of this petal right into the zip tie. And we'll do that in a second. Okay, so that's how I pre-made my petals. And then I throw my petals into one of these dollar store laundry baskets. And then when all my petals are pre-made, it's quite easy to put the wreath together. Okay, so this so far is what I've got. And when I flip it over, what I've done is we're not doing anything on row 1, okay? Nothing on row 1. I'm not going to put green, even though this is a flower type wreath, I'm not putting green leaves on it, okay? Because it's an everyday wreath, and I really like the colors of the black, white, and gray. So we are not using row 1, but we are using row 2. So I preloaded every set of holes on row 2, okay? So there is 16. That is going to be my black row. Then on row 3, if you can see, I did the normal set of holes, which is the 2 holes that are pretty close together here. But I also did the hole from here to here. So in this right here, I'm going to be putting 2 petals. Then I skipped right here, 2 petals. Skipped, 2 petals, skipped, 2 petals. That's to give myself a little bit of more white than just 8 pieces of white. So with me putting 2 like this, that gives me now 16 pieces of white. And then row 4 is 8 pieces of gray, and row 5 is going to be 8 pieces of gray. So that gives us the 16 gray, 16 white, 16 black. Once you got your board preloaded, and where this end part or the nub is, you're going to take this and just put it in the preloaded zip tie about 1/2 inch in, and do the zip tie up around it nice and tight. And then you can open up your petal and fold it out really nice, so it's got a nice curve and look to it. All right, and then you do to the next one. No, this is not poly burlap. This is a horizontal wide stripe. It's all plastic, pretty much, kind of, it's very similar to poly burlap, but not as pricey. And I actually really like it a lot for this petal, or for flowers and flowers in general. It sculpts really, really nice. Okay, so we have them, all the black are in, or on. And then we're gonna go around and clip off the zip tie tails. Now we're going to do white, and like I said, I could have just did 8 pieces of white. So you can, if you want to save some of your white, you can just do 8 pieces. I just figured I was going to keep everything simplified and have 16, 16, and 16. So I have my white done. And again, you just start popping your petals into your preloaded zip ties. So I have and it's pretty much, it's good to form your petals as you're going to make sure they're the way you want it. I like having my petals kind of folding down. But you can, if you want a more 3D effect, you can actually bring your petals upwards. Like they cup, you can cup them upwards and it'll give you more of a 3D look. I like to have them down. And like I said, you can do this with any mesh. The only thing with this kind of petal is you do want to heat seal it so you don't see all the frays or the strings. Alrighty, last white one. So it's 16 white. Okay, there we go. That's our row of white. And I picked these 3 colors because these 3 colors are very neutral to pretty much any kind of decor, really. Like, I think it doesn't really matter what colored front door somebody has, these 3 colors will match. So cut off your zip tie tails. So I'm doing 8 gray on row 4 and 8 gray on row 5. So again, like I said, you can do your colors however you want. If you have a dark door, or if you're making this for a friend and they have a dark door, you may not want to put the black on the outside row, right? You may want to put the white or gray on the outside row so you can see the outside row. If they have a light colored door, then the black, of course, is perfect for a light colored door. Okay, so I'm doing exactly the same. So after, if you do this wreath, we still have quite a bit of mesh left. All right, so that's row 4. Row 5, we're going to do gray as well. And just start wherever. We're doing all the holes, including the shared holes on row 5. So just pick a zip tie, and then once you do one, just keep going around in a circle or a semicircle. Clockwise or counterclockwise, it doesn't really matter, but just go completely around the circle. All right, we are done this. Okay, let's cut these off. Okay, so you could put the sign in, right? How pretty is that? So it all matches. beautiful, beautiful wreath. Doesn't have ribbons and all over the place, so you don't have to worry about your loved ones having to fix the ribbons and the bow tails and all that stuff. Or you can use a solid half ball. I love that. Look how pretty that is. This is actually a fabric pom-poms, but you can use like bling rope or whatever. This is just a 5-inch half styrofoam ball. I painted it burgundy first, and then I just glued on these pom-poms. Okay, so you can, I would just go down, and then I glued a cable mount on the back of it, and you can just go down the center holes, right? And you have a flower. It's pretty much a neutral color. So if you're the person you're gifting this to, say their favorite color is green. Say their favorite color is green. And you know their favorite color is green. You can make the black, white, and red, or black, white, and gray flower and do a bling rope center to put that green in. So again, this is just a half ball, 5-inch half styrofoam ball with pipe cleaner, and I did glue bling rope, so you can see how pretty that is, onto the half ball, and then you just put the pipe cleaners again down the center. All right, so I'm going to rough up the center just a little bit. I'll just scratch it up. The reason I'm just scratching it up a little bit is if you scratch it up a little bit, it gives it the cable mount something to grip on. Okay? You just need a little bit of scratching. Now you do have, there is holes at the top and bottom of your sign if you want to use the holes. So I put some hot glue on one side and the other, and then the other two sides I usually put some E6000. So it gives you a temporary hold with the hot glue, and then a permanent hold with the E6000. I use Gorilla Glue sticks, so they normally stay on no problem. The pipe cleaners right down the two center holes there. I'm going to flip this over. We'll put these pipe cleaners back down the holes to keep everything nice and neat. And up here on row 1, we are going to put our hanger, which is just a zip tie. I'm going down one hole, back up the other, make myself a hanger, cut that off.